Welcome to an episode of Ed Drinks Whiskey and Pretends It's Science.
Okay, hey everybody, this is Ed O'Mara from the Rock Gut Review. You guys know me, or if you don't, you're about to, and you'll be worse off for it. So, today I'm doing something a little different. I'm running on my own. Erica's around here somewhere, but she didn't want to be in this episode, but she did help me out with it. So what this episode is that it's a little bit of an experiment. Unfortunately, I don't have a white lab coat, but it was inspired by a conversation some people were having in Whiskey in the Six's live stream chat, which I found very interesting and I wanted to test. So, basically, what they were talking about is, does whiskey open up if you give it time with air? I think the common wisdom is that it does. We know this happens with wine, right? So with wine, if you let it open up, the tannins break down a little bit, and you get some different flavors, right? And if you leave wine out for way too long, it starts to turn into vinegar. It just oxidizes completely, and it flattens, and it gets rubbish. So, does that happen with whiskey? Because back in the day, when they were transporting wine in casks, they started adding spirits to the wine to make them last longer, because a higher alcohol spirit took longer to oxidize. So you would think, yeah, it oxidizes it, But the question came up because Horst Lunig, over at whiskey.com, he doesn't, when he pours a glass, he doesn't give it time to open up. He just goes straight into it. With the argument being that it's already oxidized in the cask, it's oxidized when they're blending it, so really, is it going to open up any more than it already has? The counter-argument to that was that maybe when they blend it and then they put it in a bottle and there's all that processing, maybe there's, it stiffens up, there's bottle shock, and you need to open it up and let it sit. I don't know. We're going to find out. So, we have 3 glasses of Glenlivet 12. We got some little mini glass bottles. And what Erica did was, she poured one of these, let's see what time it is. So it's about 9 o'clock. She poured one of these at 5:30. She poured another one of these at about 8:15, or sometime around then. And she poured one of these just now, just before we started this video. I'm going to nose them, I'm going to taste them, I'm going to see if I can tell any difference. The assumption is, oxidation is going to change it, right? Is it going to change it that much in this little bit of time? Oh, and she wrote what time she put them down on the slips of paper. So after I go through and try to figure out which one's which, we'll actually check. Let's start nosing these. So this is sample 1. Okay. Smells like Glenlivet. Smells it smells sherried. Smells a little buttery. Now, the only problem is these are all 40% alcohol. I don't know. That's the thing. I'm wondering if maybe with a higher alcohol whiskey, this might make more of a difference, but we're going to find out. Yep. Smells like Glenlivet. Oh, wow. Number 2 is noticeably flatter. Yeah. There's still a little bit of sherry smell. There's still kind of a dark fruit note, maybe. Yeah, a little meaty nuttiness maybe, but yeah, this one is very obviously much richer, bigger flavor. The same similar flavor, but it's much more apparent. And there's a little bit more of that kind of dark, almost sulfury note that I usually get from sherry. Let's compare them to number 3. Again, I'm feeling like number 1 is a bit stronger on the nose. I'm getting just more flavor overall. This one seems to just accentuate more of the nuttiness. Like, this is kind of just, like, how some nuts sometimes taste a little stale or earthy? That's what I'm kind of getting here. And the sweetness isn't so much like dark fruit anymore, which is really interesting. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if that's because this one has been sitting out longer or this one has been sitting out shorter. I really have no clue. But I can tell there's certainly a difference. There's certainly a difference. Let's taste them. So I'm gonna do it the opposite way I smelled them. It tastes a little thin, I suppose. I'll have to compare it to the other two. Alright, number 2. Hard to tell if there's a lot of difference there. Yeah, I'm not really sure there's much of a difference there. This one might be slightly more raisiny. That's about it. I don't know. Let's try the last one. I'm noticing less of a difference on the taste. Definitely less of a difference on the taste. Than the nose. Because the nose, the difference between this one and this one on the nose is very distinct. On the taste though, I will say this one does taste a little richer. So that's cool. I'm wondering, what I'm thinking, here's my guess, probably totally wrong, but I'm guessing number 3 here is the one that's sat out the longest, right? It's probably because it's been sitting 3 hours. That's a drastic amount of time. I'm guessing that's probably why it tastes flatter. It's lost some alcohol. The alcohol's evaporated off. At this point, there's too much gone to really get a whole lot. I'm not sure which of these was just poured, though. Is the one that was just poured the one that tastes a little touch more stiff? Or is the one that was poured a half hour ago? If I had, the common wisdom would say the one that's had a little more time to open up is going to be the most flavorful. So I'd probably guess it was this one. But I could be proved wrong. The other problem with this is we might have to do a second round of this because we left these uncapped. And after we poured them, we realized, oh wait, we should have gotten 3 more bottles and done a capped run. So we may have to do a second video, a second round of this, where we do ones with caps and compare them. You know, put a coin on top just to see what difference that makes. I think it'll make less of a dramatic difference, I would think, just because there's going to be less airflow. So, but let's find out when these were poured. All right, so this is my guess for being the earliest poured, number 3. Okay. I was totally wrong. 9:03. Number 2. 17:18. So 5:18. I don't know why she's using military time on me, but 5:18. And the last one is 8:26. Okay, so as it turns out, the one that was the least flavorful was the one that was poured just now, 9:03, on the far right. The one that was the most flavorful was the one that I guess was poured 30 minutes ago. Yep, 8:26. And the one that was poured 3 hours ago retained a lot of character. It was not as flavorful and as big as this one, but oh my god, it was a far cry from 9:03 over here. So, now keep in mind, I am nobody, so this is not the most scientific experiment. These may not be generalizable results. So, based on that, Horst, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. Now maybe he's doing something different than I am. Maybe I misunderstood. But I gotta say, a little bit of time really helps the whiskey. So take that for what you will. If you like this content, we are gonna do another experiment. I really need a white lab coat. I really do. We can do another experiment where we're gonna cap all these, and we can compare them capped, uncapped, poured at the same time, and compare all the capped ones together. So we can do that on another video. All right, guys. This is Future Eddie. shooting an addendum to our experiment video. Erica just did the same thing I did. She doesn't want to be on camera right now. But she did the exact same thing I did, and she guessed them perfectly. She got them exactly. Based on, she said, okay, the taste between the first two, between the youngest two, or the ones that have been sitting out the least amount of time, that was the decider for you?
Yeah.
And then,
they taste so similar.
Yeah. So she knew those were the youngest. And then the oldest one she actually liked better. You actually liked the oldest one more so than the other two?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she got it perfectly. She's better than me apparently. So.
Damn straight.
She should be on this show more. I keep telling her. Telling her.
Thank you.
All right, bye. But for today, that has been this episode of the Rock Gut Review. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you like what we're doing, because, you know, help us out, I guess. I don't know. I'm a beggar at this point. Yeah, stay tuned for more. And until next time, stay rotten.